past weeks, we have been really taking a look at the most amazing virtues of the North as a travel destination.
This week was Colm Flynn's turn to sample the delights. Here is how he got on in Belfast.
Recently, The Lonely Planet named Belfast as the best destination in the world to visit in 2018. So, of course, I had to come check it out.
I made no promises, I can't do golden rings, but I'll give you everything.
Just 2 hours from Dublin, Belfast is a thriving city and there is so much to see and do. And I'm starting at Crumlin Road Prison. Built in 1846, this jail was in operation right up until 1996. That's 150 years. Terry is my tour guide today.
It was built for 550 prisoners, but at its height it held over 1,400 men. And there were 17 executions here for convicted murderers, so this place had literally all types of criminals throughout.
I've heard that the place is haunted. Is that true?
Lots of people have experienced different things over the years. Someone's have had doors slam on their face, felt kind of breath on their neck. So it kind of depends on how much of a believer, what you kind of want to take out of it. Yeah.
Okay. Not sure I like the sound of that, but we venture in anyway, and our first stop is Wing C. Terry, what would conditions have been like for prisoners here in this wing?
Conditions throughout the jail would have been absolutely horrendous. There was no heating in the prison up until about 1940. The majority of prisoners would have been on pretty much a 22, 23-hour lockdown at all times with roughly 1 hour of exercise a day.
How would a child find himself or herself in here? What would their crime have been?
Real small things. Theft of an apple was roughly about 3 weeks. Theft of a handkerchief, 4 to 5 weeks. A loaf of bread, 5 to 6 months.
Conditions were so bad that one famous prisoner made a point of writing about it in his diaries.
So when Eamon de Valera was held here in 1924, he noted in his diaries that this was the worst day in any jail he had ever had throughout his political career, and Eamon de Valera had quite a few to pick from.
Luckily, I'm not staying long.
I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun.
And next I'm heading across the city where the iconic Harland and Wolff cranes pierce the sky. This shipyard is famous around the world because, of course, it is where the Titanic was built. Colin Cobb is a Titanic expert. No one can bring you closer to the history than he can.
This is the original place where Titanic actually last sat for her final fixtures and fittings, where she was painted, inspected, propellers were attached. Hard to believe that just 12 days after leaving this huge Leviathan-sized dry dock, Titanic was at the bottom of the ocean.
So this really is a piece of history down here.
It's like an old deserted Roman courtyard. Yes, it's faded away and of course it's overgrown and stains on the walls, but when people come here, that's what they want to see.
It's hard to believe that it was right where we're standing that the finishing works were carried out in Titanic, just before her maiden voyage. And even the original keel blocks used to prop up the ship are still in place.
They are silent witnesses to an era that's long gone. They've been sitting here since 1911.
Why do you think it is, Colin, that the story of the Titanic and her legacy has fascinated people over the years?
I think it's because the unthinkable happened to the unsinkable ship. This vessel was built to be the biggest in the world. It strikes an iceberg on its maiden voyage, a ship that was to be impregnable. God himself could not sink a ship. We've all heard those boastful sayings, and the ship sinks on her maiden voyage. Within 2 hours and 40 minutes, Titanic is gone.
Gone, but her legacy lives on here. And close by, the Titanic Museum and now Titanic Hotel are great spots to visit too. Time for a bite to eat now, and it might surprise you to learn that Belfast has not one, but 2 Michelin star restaurants. I'm stopping by Ox to meet its founder and head chef, Stephen Toman. Stephen, why did you decide to open up the restaurant here?
Just wanted to kind of showcase our ideas onto the plate and service and bring it all back to Belfast. Seasonal, you know, our tagline is seasonal creativity, so we try our best to get our hands on local seasonal produce and just kind of work backwards. We'll have the larder and then we just kind of try and showcase what's at its best at that moment.
Owning a Michelin star restaurant was always Stephen's dream, even when he was a teenager. So from the age you were 16, when you left school, this is what you always wanted to do?
I always wanted it. Yeah, I'll be honest, it was always the plan. It's just something I always dreamt of. You know, I was fascinated by the whole Michelin thing. bought all the guides and knew all the names and all the restaurants and took myself off to Paris, and you know, it was just something that I wanted to kind of achieve, and yeah, so that's what we tried to get.
I made no promises.
Finally, I'm heading to the beautiful St. George's Market to see if I can pick up some hidden treasure.
Magic is in the air.
We sell antique, collectibles, basically a bit of everything.
Ailish Curran is one of the vendors and has been coming here for decades.
I myself have been coming to the market for about 60 years with my grandmother and my mother.
So this place is very special to you?
This is very, very special. This is the most favourite because it was on Downtown Abbey. They used this on Downtown Abbey.
What's the good price on this now?
48 for those two
It's
pieces
a bargain.
there. Yes.
Where would you get it?
I made no promises. I can't do golden rings.
And what better way to finish the day than a beautiful cup of coffee in the highest bar in Ireland with some amazing views of the city. I've had such a good day. Thank you so much, Belfast.
I want to go.
It looks like you had a great time there.
I'm going to go there for the Christmas markets this year.
Are there
with
Christmas
Rita
markets there?
and Hall, yeah. I've been saying we're going to go up around the Titanic Quarter.
Yeah.
And there's a few other places as well that I want to go.
We'll have to ask Brendan, he'll direct
Great
us.
fun.
We should have
Brendan will
sent
bring-
Brendan off on one of those things because he's from there.
Brendan's from
Our
there,
floor
yeah.
manager, yeah.
Brendan can drive us around the place.
He can drive us around Belfast.
That's
Yeah. Anyway, more information, of course, on all we discussed, you can head over to discovernorthernireland.com.